Hello and welcome to my presentation on my Strategic Leadership Challenge. My Strategic Leadership Challenge is to create opportunities to lead strategically. Currently, I'm in a leading self role where my strategic input has been rarely accepted. In fact, I have been told to not think, just do. Despite my efforts in showing my growth, I am still pigeonholed in my current role with no way out. My lack of confidence in myself has definitely hindered my progress in applying for new opportunities. Therefore, my main goal is to apply to a new project lead role in the business process operations office. Success will be defined as receiving either this new opportunity of project lead or to work with the HR team on a new process that evaluates employees' development growth. This effort will aid others in the transition to new roles in the workplace by creating an individual's learning journey. I will also read books on how to build self-confidence and learn ways on quieting my inner critic. Measurement for success will be based on my current status of employment versus future status. Will I have a new role? Or will I be able to help HR create a new process, enabling open conversations with employees regarding their potential? In order to move my strategic leadership challenge forward, I first need to be confident in myself and apply for the new project lead role. This will be done by utilizing DAC in the following ways. Direction, by building confidence within and engaging HR in ways to increase learning opportunities and journeys for all employees. Alignment is to read books on confidence building and to brainstorm ways with HR to facilitate this journey. And commitment is to reading the books and fostering a relationship with HR representatives on employee advocacy on these learning journeys. Assessing the internal environment. So the internal strengths for CCL are DEI initiatives. We have open office hours every Friday to discuss DEI in the workplace and with our clients. Our HR benefits, such as PTO, health and wellness plans, as well as our ERGs, which are the employee resource groups, which, by the way, I am co-leader on our women's ERG, and I'm working with a team on a new neurodiversity ERG. Exciting stuff. Also, we have a great brand reputation with our clients and an important nonprofit status. Our weaknesses are the loss of our CEO. We currently have an interim CEO, but it's not defined as to whether he will stay or not. We also need to work on our internal promotions and individual leadership journeys. There have been many changes organizationally with new executive team members. Are we aligned in our work with these new team members? I also believe that we need to reassess our audience segmentation in the marketplace. Should we continue to cater to HR buyers, or should we branch out to individuals who are not as educated and need our research to aid them in making better decisions? At the Center for Creative Leadership, our vision is to lift leaders who lift the world. Our mission is to advance the understanding, practice, and development of leadership for the benefit of society worldwide. We value integrity, equity, inclusivity, and diversity in our employees as well as our clients. And these values strengthen our organization. However, we definitely need to practice what we preach to gain better traction. The first key driver for CCL is to invest in our employees. We can't practice what we preach without doing this. Our second key driver is to strategize new ways to survive headwinds like potential global recessions with licensing opportunities. These opportunities are usually long-term with high profit margins. And thirdly, we need to prioritize research and our client-facing technologies. New research fosters new programs for our clients, and a snazzy client-facing interface makes our organization current with the times. So let's look at the first key driver: invest in employees in order to practice what we preach. The strategy is to create new roles within HR to ensure new managers are supported and appropriate learning journeys are catered to each individual employee. The success of this driver will be measured by the percentage of employee resignations as well as the number of learning journeys created. Tactics are to monitor employee engagement as well as their feelings of belonging in the workplace. A schedule of accountability will be performed quarterly by organizational analysts with the measurements of these KPIs. The performance measures are that employee resignation is lowered, especially in the first to second year of employment, as well as global employee happiness. So now let's venture into polarity thinking. The polarities in my strategic leadership challenge are to maintain my current responsibilities and study for the CAPM certification exam to apply for the project lead role. I also need to create space for my family while applying for new roles, strategies, etc. In my polarity map, my main purpose is to grow within CCL and to support our overall strategy. The first polarity is to maintain my current job responsibilities. The positive results for this are that I don't get fired. The marketing database is maintained and cleaned. The leads for sales and client services are assigned throughout the organization. This is global as well. And to create queries of audiences for our emails. The negative results contain items such as lost in trust for my boss and the chief marketing officer. The organization doesn't receive these web form leads, therefore we lose business, and queries for audiences are not built. The other polarity has a positive result by studying the PMBOK guidebook, passing the CAPM exam, and applying new learnings to a new role or other initiatives within CCL. As for the negative results, I can potentially not spend enough time studying, lose time with my family, and can fail to pass the exam. Overall, my main fear is that I will be unhappy and will ultimately quit CCL after being with the organization for over 12 years. These polarities are possible by influencing others, specifically those who are at or above my current leader level. I also need to commit at least 30 hours of studying for this exam. Creating space for success is the most difficult, as well as juggling all of my responsibilities like work, school, family, etc. As for the critical stakeholders for my polarities, influencing my boss and other leaders is imperative. Specifically, getting them to understand that these are polarities and not problems to solve. They are valued learnings that need to be balanced. As for the benefits of polarities, by understanding the meaning behind polarities, the organization can balance priorities without the detriment of only focusing on one issue or the other. Polarities are dilemmas that have more than one solution and have multiple positive intents behind these outcomes. Culture. All right, so let's look at how shaping culture develops a strategic leader. My challenge, which as you recall is how to find opportunities to become more strategic, requires an interdependent leadership culture, where leadership culture is a collective activity. Individual and functional expertise are put aside to create something even greater. The leadership practices required for this interdependent culture are to start making tough decisions in collaboration with key stakeholders and to use conflict to resolve challenges, promote revolution or disruption with key stakeholders, and to use conflict to resolve challenges. Create something has never been done before. Whew. All right. We need to stop allowing those with power to take risks and to stop accepting feedback only from those with expert knowledge and or have high status in the organization. We need to continue to encourage people to speak their minds about successes and areas for improvement while also continuing to reach resolutions together by creative solutions. As for shaping the culture for interdependence, we need to incorporate DAC like the chart shows. We achieve direction by agreement of shared exploration and the emergence of new perspectives. We coordinate alignment from ongoing mutual adjustments among system responsible people, and we achieve commitment from engaging in a developing community. In order to succeed, I need to transform myself, others, and the world for future fulfillment. I can do this by engaging top-level leaders first, because as we know, all change initiatives need to come from the top down to be effective. I need to also work with my colleagues and global partners as well as my teammates. Now that we looked at culture, let's look at the network map for my strategic leadership challenge. The central connector for my strategic leadership challenge is me, as no one else can connect the different individuals to my specific challenge. Central connector strengths are like the sticky glue that holds the network together. However, it's usually best to not only have one connector. Therefore, others will need to be involved in the perseverance of strategic leadership. The peripheral player in my network is Martin Schneider, the new interim CEO. He's the peripheral player due to the fact that he's only been in this role for about a month and is learning all of the intricate quirks of CCL. Peripheral players can involve others into the network that may not be as ingrained as they need to be. Therefore, other executive team members can be clued in as peripheral players as well. My area of improvement here is to influence above in order to gather more key peripheral players. The broker for this challenge is Liz Cope, the Chief Marketing Officer. She connects the marketing group to the executive team as a whole, and therefore they connect to other portions of the organization. Brokers drive or block change initiatives as well. However, we do need more brokers in our network, like the new Chief HR Officer, in order to drive change in employee development. Boundary spanners and energizers are important, but for my particular challenge, I can't think of any individuals in these roles. I feel that most of the employees within CCL maintain these roles, at least the people managers or the leaders of the ERGs, the employee resource groups. Boundary spanners make sure the voices of the few are heard by the top level leaders, and energizers create enthusiasm in the workplace. My goal is to not only be a connector for my own strategic leadership challenge, but also a boundary spanner and energizer. As for my inspirational change communication, I've decided upon the 3 C's of change: communicate, collaborate, and commit. I will communicate the idea that all levels of employees have the right to practice strategic leadership in the workplace, regardless of their job title. I will collaborate by bringing others into projects and share ideas on how to implement the idea of global strategic leadership for all levels. I will do this by getting buy-in from top-level executive team members to facilitate this change. Lastly, I will commit to encouraging change within myself by ridding the inner critic versus the realistic thinking, being able to realize which is which, and I will lead by example within the organization, i.e. practicing what I preach. The action I will take is to be my own advocate. No one can advocate for you and your needs, as well as you can advocate for yourself. Being engaged within the organization and placing myself as either a connector or boundary spanner is imperative if I wish to be given more strategic opportunities. I have also applied for the new project lead role in my pursuit of advocating for myself. Keep your fingers crossed. So for the leadership insights and plan, I will continue to advance my knowledge of strategic leadership outside of the classroom. I will think, act, and influence with strategic intent. And I will remember that all effective strategies are a social process. They cannot be done alone. Thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoyed this presentation. Thank you again.